Breaking news. The South China Sea heats up. Philippines stands firm against Beijing. Naval standoff sparks alarm across Asia. Satellite images reveal armed buildup near disputed shoals. These are just a few of the urgent headlines splashed across global news outlets. In recent weeks, the South China Sea has become a powder keg. Tensions are rising, fueled by a series of bold maneuvers from the Philippines. The world is watching as Manila draws a red line in the waves. It's early morning, the turquoise waters shimmer beneath wary clouds. Far below, Philippine Navy ships slice through the sea, shadowed by Chinese Coast Guard vessels. Drone footage and satellite images show new outposts on scattered reefs. The air is thick with uncertainty. Fishermen steer clear of contested waters, whispering stories of water cannon blasts and warning shots. The South China Sea, once a peaceful stretch of ocean, now feels like a chessboard. Each move is calculated. Every patrol signals resolve. The stakes are high, not just for the Philippines, but for the entire region. The world's attention is fixed on these waters, waiting to see who will blink first. The drama is real. The Philippines, long seen as the underdog, is suddenly grabbing headlines with its new defiance. Will this gamble pay off? Or will it trigger a wider storm? Why does the South China Sea matter so much? The answer is simple and complex. At its heart, this patch of ocean is a lifeline. 1/3 of global shipping, over $3 trillion in trade, flows through these waters every year. Oil tankers, container ships, fishing boats, all crisscross the waves. Whoever controls these sea lanes wields enormous economic power. But that's not all. Beneath the surface lies a treasure trove, vast reserves of oil and gas, plus some of the world's richest fishing grounds. For nations like the Philippines, Vietnam, and China, the sea is both a pantry and a piggy bank. Access means security. Control means leverage. Yet, competing claims have turned the South China Sea into a maritime minefield. China claims almost the entire area, drawing its infamous 9-dash line. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan all push back, staking claims on reefs and islands. International law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, is supposed to decide who owns what, but enforcement is another story. This is why every patrol, every new outpost, every warning shot matters. It's about more than rocks and water. It's about sovereignty, survival, and the future of Asia's balance of power. The Philippines has reached a turning point. No longer content with words alone, Manila is taking action. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered sweeping upgrades to the country's military. New ships and surveillance planes are arriving. Old bases are being refurbished. The goal is clear: defend Philippine waters, whatever it takes. But hardware is only part of the story. The Philippines is forging new alliances too. Joint patrols with the United States, Australia, and Japan are now routine. Defense pacts are being signed. The message is unmistakable. Manila is not standing alone. It is rallying friends and partners to its side. Officials are speaking out with new confidence. "We will not yield an inch of our territory," declared the defense secretary. In the past, such statements might have been dismissed as bravado. Now, backed by visible action, they ring with resolve. This new strategy marks a dramatic shift. Manila is no longer just asking for help. It is leading the charge for a free and open South China Sea. To understand today's drama, we must look back. For years, the Philippines walked a tightrope between diplomacy and defense. In 2012, the standoff at Scarborough Shoal left a nation shaken. Chinese ships blockaded Filipino fishermen, while Manila pleaded for international support. The world watched. Many felt the Philippines was left to fend for itself. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled in Manila's favor, rejecting China's sweeping claims. It was a legal victory, but little changed on the water. Chinese vessels remained. The Philippine government, hoping for warmer ties with Beijing, often chose dialogue over confrontation. Results were mixed at best. Year after year, Filipino fishermen told stories of harassment and intimidation. Coast Guard ships played cat-and-mouse games with foreign vessels. Each incident tested the country's patience and its pride. Now, after a decade of frustration, the tide is turning. Manila's leaders have decided that words must be backed by action. The era of quiet diplomacy is over. What does this new strategy mean for Asia? Defense experts warn that the stakes have never been higher. Dr. Renato de Castro, a leading security analyst, says, "The Philippines' shift sends shockwaves across the region. It's a test of will, one that could reshape alliances and trigger new rivalries." Some analysts worry about escalation. Each patrol, each new base, is a signal, notes Dr. Bonnie Glaser of the Asia program at the German Marshall Fund. If miscalculation occurs, a small clash could spiral out of control. She points to the crowded waters and unpredictable encounters between rival vessels. Yet, others see opportunity. Manila's move could strengthen the rules-based order, argues Rory Medcalf, an expert on Indo-Pacific security. By standing firm, the Philippines encourages others to defend international law. He points out that support from the United States, Australia, and Japan could act as a counterweight to China's ambitions. One thing is clear, the Philippines is no longer just a bystander. Its choices will shape the future of the entire region. This new strategy is not just talk, it's happening on the water, in the air, and around negotiating tables. In late 2025, Philippine and United States warships conducted joint patrols near 2nd Thomas Shoal, an area long claimed by both Manila and Beijing. Philippine Marines, stationed on a rusting ship grounded on the reef, received food and supplies under the watchful eyes of enemy vessels. At the same time, Australia and Japan joined in. The four nations held their first-ever quadrilateral naval exercise in the South China Sea. The drills tested coordinated responses to maritime emergencies, reflecting a new era of cooperation. Behind the scenes, Manila has signed new defense agreements. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement with the United States gives American forces access to key Philippine bases. Meanwhile, talks with Japan aim to boost intelligence sharing and joint training. Every patrol, exercise, and agreement sends a message. The Philippines is ready to defend its rights, with friends by its side. What does all this mean for the future? The Philippines is sending a clear message: sovereignty is not for sale. By upgrading its military, rallying allies, and standing firm, Manila is raising the cost of aggression. Beijing will have to think twice before making its next move. But the story doesn't end here. China is unlikely to back down quietly. Already, it is increasing patrols and building up outposts. The risk of miscalculation is real. Yet, many believe a stronger, united front could deter conflict and protect the region's fragile peace. The world is watching. The balance of power in Asia is shifting. Smaller nations, once intimidated, are finding their voice. The Philippines' bold move could inspire others to stand up for their rights. The showdown in the South China Sea is far from over, but Manila's defiance has changed the game, and Asia may never be the same.